Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a show for you guys. Man, we're going to be talking about them damn Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know what the hell is going on with that team, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, the Memphis Grizzlies are turning into one of the most perplexing teams in all of sports, man. I've really never seen anything like this. As y'all know, the Memphis Grizzlies have been in the news for all of the wrong reasons as of late. For all of the wrong reasons. Ja Morant found himself in some type of drama that to this day I don't understand how this guy even found a way to put himself in this situation. It's not just one story. It's not just the situation with the weapon that he had at the club. It's not just that. There's a story with him in his house with the kid. There's a story with that involving one of his family members at the mall. Then there's a story with the school, with the high school kid. I'm like, it's just one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. Now, we all know and understand that the Memphis Grizzlies are an extremely immature team. We know this. But the reason a lot of people were giving them a pass was because of their youth. A lot of people were saying, oh, just youthful exuberance. That's what they wanted to say. Oh, no. They're just youthful. Give it to the young guys. And I said it a while ago. I said a lot of this is going to have an expiration date. A lot of this. Now people are tolerating it because they think it's cute. Oh, look at them. They're up there talking trash. Ain't that cute? After a while, when people see that you don't produce the results and you're still talking trash, it's going to go from cute to annoying. And that's slowly what's beginning to happen with this Memphis Grizzlies team. And I just cannot believe the stories that I'm hearing about this team. Just the other day, Desmond Baines hit Kevin Love in his private regions, and I think he ended up getting suspended or getting tossed out of that game. Now today, I'm going through the internet, and I'm coming across an article surrounding Dillon Brooks shoving an NBA cameraman. So let me just get into this article here because it's actually it's incredible what these guys are doing. The article starts off with the headline here. The cameraman shoved by Dillon Brooks was injured and remains under evaluation. The Memphis Grizzlies continue to make the headlines for all the wrong reasons. As if the whole Ja Morant situation wasn't bad enough, Dillon Brooks has got himself in trouble for shoving a cameraman during their game against the Miami Heat. The individual suffered an injury because of it and remains under evaluation as per report. Jason Jackson said. Jason Jackson said, I rarely comment on these things, but this one is personal. Our veteran Bailey Heat cameraman operator was injured and remains under evaluation. The fine was on point, but the max would have felt like a silver of justice after disregard for another human being, an incredible one at that. The NBA releases a statement. Memphis Grizzlies Dillon Brooks fined. New York, March 17, 2023. Memphis Grizzlies guard forward Dillon Brooks has been fined $35,000 for the unsportsmanlike act of shoving a camera person on the sideline after punching a loose ball. It was announced today by Joe Dumars, Executive Vice President, Head of Basketball Association Operations. Brooks' actions occurred with 2 minutes and 40 remaining in the second quarter of the Memphis Grizzlies' 138-119 loss to the Miami Heat on March 15th at Miami-Dade. So you heard that one. Now, yesterday, I came across an episode there from The Odd Couple featuring Rob Parker and Chris Broussard, who have a fantastic show, and I love watching their show. And yesterday, Chris Broussard said something very interesting about the level of maturity about this Memphis Grizzlies team. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what Chris Broussard had to say about the Memphis Grizzlies as a team, and then we're going to come back and give you guys our thoughts on this. Take a listen to what he had to say here.
Yeah, and remember, like, they got a veteran, Steven Adams. It is a very young team, but Steven Adams, and supposedly, Rob, when they had that players-only meeting, the night that Ja went out to the strip club, right, Steven Adams had mentioned similar things like, we got to be more mature. We can't be doing this stuff on the road. And hours later,
it was the same night.
The strip club, yeah,
that's so crazy.
And I think that is a very immature team. And before the Ja Morant stuff came out and was public, watching that team, Dillon Brooks and Desmond Bane doesn't say a lot as far as I can tell, but he still has an attitude about him. I'm not saying he's a bad guy at all. He seems like a good guy. But they just seem like a young, cocky group of guys that are believing the hype, that think they're freaking, who do they go at verbally? The 4-time champion Golden State Warriors.
Right.
I mean, like, in what world do you have a right to talk trash to them? I'm not saying you have to defer
or bow down
and kiss their shoes. Right. Like, you go out there thinking you can beat them, but you also need to respect them because they're the 4-time champions. And you haven't done anything. And that's how they strike me as a team, as good as they are. But I'm with you, like, look, and here's the thing. If they are making these rules, like, we're not staying overnight in Miami. And Rob, most teams, when I covered the league, and I think still today, in most cities, they get out as soon as the game's over.
Right.
Right? You get out.
Not the old days. Not the old days.
Some cities, right, because you used to fly in the morning.
Yep.
But with their charter flights, a lot of teams fly after the game.
Right. There's no reason. There's no reason. Right.
You might stay over, depending on what your schedule is going forward. But if you're doing this only for Ja, then I think it's a real issue, because if you can't trust him, like, with all he's been through now, with all he has on the line, the money, the reputation, the endorsements, if you can't trust him to make the right decision with all that on the line, you got some big problems. So
you heard what Chris Broussard had to say. Now, here are my thoughts about this team. You know what? I'm sick of the Memphis Grizzlies. So I'm not going to lie it up for you guys. I'm not going to twerk it up for you guys. I'm sick of this team. They do a lot of talking, to Chris Broussard's point, for a team that never won it. Like, who in reality wants to listen to a dude like this? If you knew somebody that all they did was run their mouth about how much money they got, how well they're doing, but in reality, they're not doing nothing, who would want to sit down and be around somebody? Like, no one would be like, yo, get out of here. You sound mad corny and you're a bozo. All you do is yappity yap, 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 yap. And you have nothing to you have nothing to back up what you're saying. The Memphis Grizzlies have turned into the most annoying team in the NBA. At first, it was cool. At first, we're watching Ja Morant. It was electrifying seeing him fly through the air, and it still is. But all of this extra stuff with this team, it's annoying now. What? Like, I don't understand. Like, bro, why are you shoving a cameraman? What's all of this smoke y'all got for, like, the Memphis Grizzlies are now, it's like we're talking about everything about this team except their accomplishments on the court. You know something is wrong with you if you're sitting there trash talking the Golden State Warriors, the current reigning dynasty in the NBA today. That's the team you're talking trash to. You know something is wrong with you. You know that. Even players that have 1, 2 championships, they don't talk trash like that to the Golden State Warriors, except this team. It is annoying. But you know what? I got to say this. I think that this team represents a microcosm or a pocket of some groups within society. You got a lot of kids, young guys, whatever you want to call them, people, whatever you want to call them, that have all of this bravado. They got all of this swag. They got all of this attitude that haven't accomplished a damn thing. That have not, walking around with your chest up like, yeah, you know, I'm this and this, but in reality have not done a damn thing. But they got all of this confidence. And you got people egging them on. And especially it's dudes. A lot of this, I'm going to blame it on the dudes. Because they're not policing any of this. They're the ones supporting it. Nah, man, let her live. Let him live. Go ahead, young fella. Talk your junk. What's the next one? Give him your truth. This is what happens when you allow, like, yo, to me, I don't understand this. Hitting cameramen, socking dudes in their privates, this one, that one, talking trash to multiple NBA champions. Like, where are we going? with this. This is turning into the corniest. I think the only people that support this are Memphis Grizzlies fans. They're the only ones that support this. But even them, after a while, they're going to get fed up and say, okay, guys, we get it. We get it. We get it that you guys are feeling yourselves. But let's go out there and try to win a championship first. Let's at least try to make it to an NBA Finals. Before we start running around here beating our chest like King Kong or something. Like, enough is enough with this, man. I'm not checking for this team. I'm not interested in this team. There's too many shenanigans going on with the Memphis. Too many. Too many. There's such a young, talented team with all of the extracurricular activities. It's unnecessary. Do you realize you would get a lot of praise and adulation if you just won? You ain't got to do all of this extra stuff. Shoving cameramen? Y'all can have this team, man. I'm out.